There was a period of time in college, I guess, where your parents were temporarily separated.
Yeah.
It was during then, I believe, that your sister would occasionally come to visit you.
Yeah.
I think you was in like 4th grade at the time, right?
10?
At 10, yeah. Like what were those experiences like?
It would never happen today. My parents split up.
She'd fly by herself.
She'd fly by herself to Tallahassee.
You
and then she would live in my house. And then she would...
In your frat house.
In our frat house. She would live there. and she would take a sabbatical and move into the Tri-Delt house for like 3 days, 4 days. And then I remember one time we were at a bowling alley and I saw her at the same bowling alley. She was 10. She was with a bunch of sorority girls. And I was like, Kottie? And she's like, come bowl with us. I mean, she would go to parties and we would have her walk around with a hat to collect money, and everyone's gonna give money to a 10-year-old collecting money for a keg. And so she would walk around with she had this stuffed monkey she'd walk around, and the monkey had the hat, and she would raise like $500 when all you really needed was $100 for a keg. But she would live with us, and yeah, it's crazy. I would never let my 10-year-old do that. But it was a different time, I guess. And
how did that happen?
So me and my sister were in Tallahassee, and my parents split up, and it was just her, and I think it was making her crazy because she didn't want my parents to split up, and she was trying to micromanage the situation as a 10-year-old, and it just was unhealthy. And I think my sister and I noticed it was not healthy for her, and she came up and stayed with me, and Annie lived up there too at the time, so she would go back and forth from my house or to Annie's house, and then move into the sorority house for a week, and she'd plan parties. I mean, it was really crazy.
When I was talking to her yesterday, she said it was in part because she just missed you horribly.
She was very connected with me. She was very, very, very connected with me. It's crazy now. I don't think I've ever had anyone love me the way that kid loved me. When I would drive to college, we lived on this place called Bears Avenue, and you go to the 275 to get up to Tallahassee. My dad would drive her in a separate car to get me to the on-ramp to the interstate, and then they'd pull over at the Wendy's, and she would be crying, saying, don't go, don't go, don't go. And you're just like, it was heartbreaking. But yeah, she was like, she still is like one of my best friends. I mean, like, she's so funny. And she works out at my gym at my house every morning at 8 in the morning, and I love going in there and seeing her. She's like, yeah, we're not doing thrusters today, that. Like, she's just hilarious. And it's crazy that she's done kind of what I did in this business, is created her own job. And now what she does, and I couldn't explain it to you if I wanted to, but that job didn't exist like 5, 10 years ago, and now it does because of her, and she's thriving at it.